Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Everything is explained in detail in the lesson plan that I've prepared for you today, and you can follow along and read this carefully. It's all placed already on the website. Maybe I'll just briefly go over this, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now there are, however, some things worth noting, and one of them is this new big assignment that I have for you, and I came up with the idea of organizing your answers to the final test questions in a way that will enable you to kind of download all of your answers and group them together, and that will make it easier for you to prepare to the final exam next year. The way we do it is, it's all described in here and also described here in this last point in our lesson plan, so it's all there. But I just decided that I will assign one topic with all the questions in the topic to one person, and you just need to prepare the answers. The length of the answer depends on you. If you want, a better grade, you will just prepare better answers. If you don't have time, you'll just prepare shorter answers. Now, some of the topics only have 5 questions, some of them have 10 questions. So if you got a topic with 5 questions, you just need to accordingly prepare longer answers than the people who have, for example, 10 questions in their topic. So keep that in mind when you prepare your answers. Then all of the answers you will send to me, all of the answers, I will then read them, try to correct the mistakes that are inside your answers, and I will place the files here, and you will be able to just click and download the files from the table. That way, when the exam comes, you will just be able to download the answers, read them, prepare for your final exam. So that's the big assignment. The deadline is also here, so try to keep the deadline, and don't go over the deadline. Try to send it on time. Yeah, so what we'll do in today's lesson, I explained the remaining sections of this video, but maybe let's just briefly go over all of the items. There is a vocab assignment from our syllabus. There's the assignments regarding repeating the chapters that we have in our book. Our book consists of 8 chapters. We have 4 lessons remaining, so that means we can repeat 2 chapters per every lesson, and we will repeat the material by reading additional articles and watching some additional movies related to the topics that we will be repeating. The first 2 topics for today are Exploring Genius and Achilles' Heel. So I have a video and an assignment for those of you who want to get a better grade. You can read it here, and there are some videos for you to watch that can help you fill your assignments. Achilles' Heel is also there is also a nice short movie about Stephen Hawking, who was mentioned in the chapter of our book. And also, don't forget to do the North Star Pearson platform exercises if you haven't done so. There are some people who told me that they've done all the exercises. If there are some people who still haven't done them, I assigned a portion of material for you this week, and every time I will assign a new portion, so that you will, at the end of the semester, you will pretty much you'll be done with the Pearson online platform, and you'll do most of the important exercises. And just a brief description of the assignment, the big assignment, the preparation for the final exam, and how to prepare the answers. So that's the brief description of our lesson, and in the remaining sections you will be able to watch some more detailed descriptions of the tasks I prepared for you. If you don't understand something in the video, go back to this lesson plan. Everything is explained here in detail, and if you still have problems, send me an email and I will answer your emails. So see you in the next section, and have fun with the lesson. Looking at our syllabus, we can see that there's fairly a lot of chapters and exercises that we've covered so far, which should make all of us happy, because there's a lot of vocabulary items in there that managed to learn. And now we move on to the remaining chapters, and this time we have 2 more chapters. These are the numbers of chapters that we want to do. Now there's a lot of them, but I think that there will be more time in the upcoming weeks, so there's a lot of nice tasks for you. Now we only have one small article and two small chapters left after we've done this. Great. So we'll have more time for other things that I'm preparing, and I will show you in a second what exactly it is that I'm preparing and that we will be doing. Here is a lesson plan for the next lesson, and it will be updated in a moment. But what you see in this table is one of the groups, which the other group will also have this table. And I decided that we need to prepare ourselves for the exam in a way that is most suitable, and that will be answering the questions, the exam questions. So each of you will have to prepare one topic, and then you will all send your questions to me, and I will post them on the website, so that way everybody can answer all the questions and everybody can prepare themselves for the exam. I mean, the exam is, like I said in the beginning, it's on the second year, so you don't need to worry about it now, but I think you can start learning right now, especially that there's a lot of questions. The questions are, of course, you can download them. I posted them somewhere. I think they're here, yeah, they're right on the top of the page. So you go to the top of the page and you can find the questions there, and you can download them. So what you will need to do is I assigned everybody their own topic, and some topics include more questions, some topics have fewer questions, but that just means that those people who have, for example, 12 questions, they will just maybe prepare shorter answers. Those people that have only 6 questions, you will prepare longer answers, okay? So think about the length of your questions. Maybe if you want, you can prepare an audio version or a YouTube movie with the answers to these questions. You can also do it like that. It's not necessary. You can prepare written answers, but you can also prepare verbal, kind of vocalized answers that we can track on YouTube or download an MP3. If you send me an MP3, I will also post it here. I think there's a possibility of doing this, or I will post a YouTube link somewhere here or here, right? If you prepare good answers, then all the better. Okay, so that's how we are going to prepare ourselves for the test, and that's what we're going to be doing until, this week at least, or maybe next week as well. The deadline that I decided for this exercise will be I think the 20th of May, so we still have some time. About 1 month, less than 1 month, but that's a good deadline for this. There's a lot of work, I think, involved. I don't want these questions to be these answers to be too long, and especially that some people will get 10 questions. Just try to do as much as possible, or if the answers will be really good, I will give you a grade, maybe a grade that will help you get a better grade for at the end of the year. So that's how I will approach it. But try to write as the best answers possible. Usually, what people do is they prepare a short paragraph, 100 words, maybe shorter. Some prepare longer answers. Some people do bullet points with the answers and suggestions. Do it however you want. Just have it ready so that other people can also benefit from it and learn from this. Okay. You will learn a lot, and other people as well. And then when the exam comes, you will just be able to go to this website, download all the answers, and and have them ready. That's I think a perfect way to do this, and a perfect way to prepare and repeat all the topics that we've covered last semester. And this semester, and I will mention it in a moment, we'll also start to repeat all the topics that we've covered last year. So we had a few interesting topics, we talked about capitalism versus socialism. We talked about some other interesting things, about investing as well. And from now on, we'll start repeating our topics that we've covered. So in the next section, I'll start describing how we are going to discuss these topics. And in the end, just please remember about this task. If you still have some questions about this, just write me an email. But this is really self-explanatory. The questions are simple. They all regard the topics that we've covered here. So these questions regard all the topics we've covered here. And I posted an explanation here as well, so you can read the explanation. It's really clear. And try to prepare the best answers possible. Okay. So see you in a second, and I'll prepare the topic for our first repetition. And the first repetition will feature probably some of the first topics that we've covered last semester. Okay, see you in a second.
Our next guest is pretty much a genius. Not even pretty much. He's a genius for sure. He was one of the original angel investors of Facebook, founder of PayPal, author of new book 0 to 1, which you can order right now. Please welcome Peter Thiel to the stage and Alexia Tsotsis.
Hi, Peter.
Alexis, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good. Aside from all the other accomplishments that Jordan just mentioned, you're known for being a staunch contrarian. So what's the one thing that you conform to?
Well, I think I conform on most things. I believe that 1 + 1 = 2. I believe the Earth goes around the sun. So I think most conventional things that people believe to be true are in fact true. They're just not that interesting, and they don't really give you much of an advantage. I always think that the key you need to find is something that's true that other people don't agree with you on, or the business version is you need to find a great business idea that nobody's building. And so I think most conventional things are correct. They just don't help you in business.
What's the most interesting conventional thing that you believe?
You know, I think there always are these conventional things that are true that I think are more true than people think. So I think Silicon Valley is going to be the center of the U.S. economy for the next 10 to 20 years. That's kind of conventional, but I believe it maybe more than most people.
Why do you believe it?
I think we're at a point in our society where we need to somehow find a way to go back to the future. We need to go back to innovating, to doing new things. This is what Silicon Valley does best, and I think you see it culturally with things like the Social Network movie. You see, I would sort of had a long-short position. I'd be short New York, long Silicon Valley.
So, what important truth do few people agree with you on? That's the very first question in this book. That's how you start your job interviews. So what is your answer to that if you were interviewing yourself?
Well, I give lots of answers. The flip answer is certainly that it's most people think it's an easy question. In reality, it's a hard question because originality is hard, creativity is hard, and it's never as easy as we think. But in my book, I give a whole series of different answers. So perhaps the single theme that I come back to over and over again is that most people think that business is about competition, whereas I think business is about getting away from competition. I think successful businesses are monopolies of one sort or another. Unsuccessful businesses are ones that are in some hyper-competitive context. And so if you're the 4th online pet food company or the 12th thin-film solar panel company, that's going to be a super competitive but not very capitalist kind of a business. You will not make money. You might as well just open a restaurant in San Francisco.
So you've actually said before that tech innovation has slowed. In a world where you've got meatless hamburgers and rover on Mars, do you still think that's the case?
Well, I think that the story of the last 40 years has been one of enormous innovation in computers, internet, mobile internet, but not that much in the world of atoms. So we've had a lot of innovation in the world of bits, more limited in the world of atoms. And I think you're right that we're at a point where people are talking more about innovating outside of computers again in the last few years. But I think it's still a little bit too early to know whether we're really starting to see a new trend. But certainly, if you were to get a self-driving car to work, if you were to figure out all these different ways to get the world of bits and the world of atoms to reconnect, that could be a very powerful boost in the decade ahead.
Do you still think that Twitter is an uninnovative company?
Well, we never said Twitter is an uninnovative company. We have this tagline on our website that they promised us 140 they promised us flying cars, and all we got was 140 characters. But
here's a guy who cannot walk, who cannot speak, who cannot move independently, and yet somehow he's still found a way.
Sure, Stephen Hawking is a brilliant, groundbreaking scientist, but that's not all the man is about. Here are 10 interesting insights into his life and his views. Number 10. He believes Earth is on its last legs. He gives the planet 1,000 years before it succumbs to its own fragility. Hawking recommends people start shopping around space for a new home base.
If our species is to survive the next 100 years, let alone 1,000, it is imperative we voyage out into the blackness of space to colonize new worlds across the cosmos.
Number 9. Stephen Hawking attended an all-girls school for a time. His family moved to St. Albans, while his father was working in a nearby city. It was there that he and a few other boys attended St. Albans High School for girls. Number 8. In his youth, his nickname was Einstein. Despite the fact that his grades were mediocre, his aptitude was noticed by teachers and students alike. They were right, as he later earned a nearly perfect score on his Oxford Scholarship Physics exam, and went on to become a highly celebrated genius. Number 7. He believes black holes are different from what we think they are. The vortices of doom are said to have event horizons, which serve as both an entrance and a point of no return. Hawking says they don't. Rather, they have apparent horizons and only briefly trap energy and matter, later releasing it as radiation. Number 6. At 21, Hawking was told he only had a few years to live. He was diagnosed with ALS, also called Lou Gehrig's disease, and that the outlook was grim.
At the age of 21, I was told I had an incurable disabling disease that would kill me in 2 or 3 years.
In January of 2014, the physicist celebrated his 72nd birthday. Number 5. He's also a children's book author. In 2007, he and his daughter Lucy published George's Secret Key to the Universe, the first book in a series about a young space traveler. Number 4. He's a big fan of zero gravity. Hawking was among the first with his disability to test out the technology that can send a plane to near space, and in the process got a few moments away from his wheelchair. Said one person who was there, he would have flown more if we let him. Number 3. His voice synthesizer talks in American, but Hawking is British. He and the Queen of England recently had a chuckle about it. She ran into the scientist at an event and asked, "Have you still got that American voice?" Hawking replied, "Yes, it is copyrighted actually." Number 2. He's a repeat guest on The Simpsons. According to Hawking, his several appearances on the show as himself have some people thinking he's actually a cartoon character.
Everyone listens when artists are talking.
Because artists are smarter than Mr. Stephen Hawking.
Oh yeah, break it down for me, fellas.
Number 1. Hawking doesn't believe God created the universe. For that matter, he doesn't believe in fate, heaven, or an afterlife.
I guess simply put, do you believe in God?
God may exist, but science can explain the universe without the need for a creator.
He does believe that each human has one chance to appreciate the world and its mysteries.
Because every new day could be my last, I have developed a desire to make the most of each and every minute.
Okay, so we're right now on our website, and this time we'll be doing a few exercises from our Pearson's language lab. Okay, so these are the assignments. I picked a few things for you. You can open these tabs here, focus on listening, and you have lesson 1 marked, and focus on speaking, and I marked vocab practice and speaking practice, so that you can, maybe you don't have to record yourself, but maybe try to listen to these sentences and try to repeat something to yourself. And listening 1 is an exercise for you, and these are the assignments. So, and also I marked one video for you. Maybe let's do achievements test as well, okay? And yeah, that will be it. So these are the assignments for both groups. So this is group AZ02, and I will do the same for the second group. So both groups will get these assignments. So that's not good. Okay, I will try to do it again in the evening. And in the meantime, you can start doing these exercises. I've just showed you. I've just presented the assignments, and you can start doing them. So, apart from the movies that I want you and exercises that I want you to do, I want you also to do 2 units per every class if you still haven't done these exercises, because we have 4 classes left. That means we should do 2 per class to have everything done. So I suggest that you do this time from unit 1. I suggest that you do the listening exercises and watch the video and do the achievement test. Okay? So this will be an assignment for both classes, okay? So I will assign all of these exercises to you guys, and the deadline will be the end of the semester. And basically, yeah, and we're done. And I will do the same for the Achilles heel exercises. Focus on the topic, focus on listening. I want you to do the listening exercises, the achievement test, and watch the video. The speaking exercise is a bit more problematic, but you can do them if you want, or at least do this one, the one that I am assigning right now. Yeah. And in this way, every class will do 2 units. That means we'll be done with the book by the end of the year. So those of you who still haven't done these exercises, that will be a task for you to do. Okay, so I'll see you in the next section.